Hello, my dear friends and fellow learners. Welcome back to Slow English Stories, your favorite place to master English through storytelling. Today, I have brought you a truly beautiful, haunting, and incredibly interesting story that I think you will find fascinating. It's about a young woman, much like many of you, who encounters a very strange and unexpected surprise during a solo trip to the beach. But this video isn't just about entertainment. You will also learn 5 beautiful and useful English phrases naturally through the context of the story. To make it easier for you to spot them, each phrase will be highlighted in blue throughout the narration. I'll make sure to explain each phrase's meaning and usage in detail at the very end of the video, so please stay with me until the final minute to get the full learning experience. Now, take a deep breath, find a comfortable spot, and let's begin the story. Listen to each sentence carefully, paying attention to the rhythm and flow. You can even repeat after me to practice your own pronunciation and speaking confidence. Let's enjoy this journey and learn together here on Slow English Stories. The story. My name is Emily. I am 22 years old, and I have lived in sunny California my entire life. More than anything else, I love the beach. There is something about the rhythm of the ocean that makes me feel at peace. One warm Saturday morning, the air felt perfect, so I decided to pack my bag for a long day out. I wanted to spend the whole day at the beach, escaping the noise of the city. The sun was incredibly bright, and the sky was a deep, cloudless blue. It truly felt like the perfect day for an adventure. I wore my favorite pink swimsuit, the one I save for special occasions. I carefully packed my essentials, a soft beach towel, a large water bottle to stay hydrated, and plenty of sunscreen to protect my skin. I hopped into my small, reliable car and began the drive to Crystal Bay Beach. It was a hidden gem, a quiet stretch of coast that not many people knew about. That seclusion was exactly why I loved it so much. It felt like my own private paradise. When I finally arrived and stepped onto the shore, I couldn't help but smile. The waves were gentle and calm, whispering against the shore. The sand was absolutely pristine. It was clean as a whistle. I laid down my towel in a spot far away from the entrance, sat down and closed my eyes to listen to the gulls. After some time had passed, I felt a sudden, cool breeze. I opened my eyes and was surprised to see a boy walking steadily toward me. He looked to be about my age, maybe in his early 20s. He wore a heavy red hoodie, which seemed strange for such a warm day, and simple black shorts. He smiled as he approached, but there was something in his expression that felt just a little bit off, a little bit strange. "Hi," he said, stopping a few feet away. I smiled back politely, though I was a bit startled. "Hey," I replied. He pointed out toward the vast blue sea. "Nice place, huh?" I nodded enthusiastically. "Yes, it's my favorite spot in the world," I said. To my surprise, he sat down near me without even asking if I minded. That felt odd, and a small knot of unease began to form in my stomach. "My name is Josh," he said, extending a friendly hand. I nodded and introduced myself. "I'm Emily." As we sat there, I noticed something peculiar. He didn't bring a towel or a bag or even a phone. No water bottle, no sunglasses, nothing at all. We talked for a few minutes about the weather and the tides, but then his tone shifted. "Do you want to see something really crazy?" he asked, his eyes widening. I laughed, trying to keep the mood light. "What do you mean? What kind of crazy?" "There's a hidden cave nearby, a secret one. It's tucked into the cliffs, and it only appears at low tide when the water pulls back. Most people walk right past it." I didn't entirely believe him. I had been to this beach dozens of times and never seen a cave. But I was curious, and the sun was still high. I checked my watch. It was only 3 p.m. "Okay," I said, standing up. "Let's go." We walked along the shore for quite a while, going much further than I had ever ventured before. The rocks became jagged and the path more difficult. After about 10 minutes of walking, I saw it, a dark, narrow opening hidden behind a large rock formation. "That's the cave," Josh said, gesturing toward the entrance. "Have at it." Taking a deep breath, we stepped inside. Immediately, the temperature dropped. It was quiet, cool, and the air smelled heavily of salt and damp earth. My heart began to beat a little bit faster as the light from the entrance faded. "Wow," I whispered, looking around. As my eyes adjusted, I saw strange, intricate drawings covering the walls. They looked old, perhaps even ancient. There were stars, crashing waves, and a hauntingly detailed drawing of a young girl's face. "Who made these?" I asked, reaching out to touch the cold stone. Josh didn't answer right away. He was staring intently at one specific drawing. As I looked closer, my breath caught in my throat. It looked just like me, the same eyes, the same jawline. "Emily," he said softly, his voice echoing in the small space. "This is where she disappeared." I froze. "What? What are you talking about?" Josh turned to me, his expression now deadly serious. "There was a girl. People said she looked exactly like you. She vanished years ago, right from this spot." I took a step back, my instincts screaming at me to leave. This was getting far too weird and frightening. Josh stepped closer. "Now you," he said, his voice dropping to a whisper, "are you any good at listening to your gut?" I felt a chill run down my spine. "What do you mean?" I stammered. "Do you feel safe with me right now?" he asked. I looked into his eyes and slowly shook my head. "No," I said. "Good," he whispered, a sad smile touching his lips. "Because you're smart. You should go." Suddenly, his eyes seemed to change. They looked dark, almost empty, as if the light had gone out of them. Terrified, I turned and ran out of the cave, scrambling across the rocks and back onto the main beach. When I finally reached my towel, I turned around to see if he was following me. He was gone. The shore was empty. I looked further up the beach and saw an old man sitting on a folding chair, fishing in the surf. I ran to him, gasping for air. "Sir, did you see a boy? A boy with a red hoodie?" The man looked up, his face etched with confusion. "There's no one out there, miss. I've been here for an hour, and you're the only person I've seen. Are you okay?" "I was just in that cave with him," I cried, pointing back toward the rocks. The man's face went pale. He dropped his fishing rod into the sand. "You went in that cave?" I nodded, trembling. "That cave," he said, his voice shaking, "has been sealed and closed off for 20 years. The entrance collapsed long ago." "What? But I was just inside." "The last girl who went in there never came out," the man continued. I shivered uncontrollably. "Her name was Emily, too," he said. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely stand. Was Josh a ghost? Was the cave somehow cursed? I didn't wait to find out. I grabbed my things, ran to my car, and drove straight home without looking back. I couldn't sleep at all that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw his pale face and those strange drawings on the cave walls. The next morning, driven by a need to know the truth, I went to the local library. I searched the digital archives for Crystal Bay Cave disappearance. And there it was, a front-page news story from exactly 20 years ago. Emily Carter, 22 years old, missing at Crystal Bay. There was a photograph accompanying the article. I screamed when I saw it. She looked exactly like me. Same eyes, the same smile. Even her hair was styled the same way. Then I scrolled down and saw another name, Josh Turner. He was the last person ever seen with her. The article said that he had been devastated by her disappearance and had died just 1 year later. He had drowned at Crystal Bay while searching for her. I was paralyzed with fear. It was him, the boy I had met on the beach. I immediately called the police and told them everything, despite how crazy it sounded. To my surprise, they took me seriously. They sent a specialized search and rescue team to the cave. 2 days later, an officer called me. "We found something," he said solemnly. They had discovered a body buried deep beneath the sand in a hidden chamber of the cave. It was her, the other Emily. The mystery that had haunted the town for 2 decades was finally solved. Josh's ghost hadn't been trying to hurt me. He had been trying to show me the way so she could finally be found. I went back to the beach one last time a week later. I stood near the water's edge as the sun was setting, casting a golden glow over the waves. I whispered into the wind, "Thank you, Josh. You hit a nail on the head. You brought her home." Suddenly, a warm wind blew softly past me, and I swear I heard a faint whisper, "You're safe now." I smiled, and for the first time in days, I felt a deep sense of peace. A few days later, I opened my phone and saw a message from a major news channel. They wanted to interview me about the discovery. "We want to thank you," the producer wrote. "You helped solve a cold case that the police had given up on years ago." When I met with the lead officer, he told me that the department wanted to offer me a reward for my bravery. The officer said with a warm smile, referring to a lunch he insisted on buying me during the interview process, "You did something incredibly brave, Emily." I eventually received the reward money. Instead of spending it on myself, I decided to honor the memory of the girl I had helped find. I used the funds to start a small, cozy beach cafe right near Crystal Bay. I named it Emily's Secret. Now, tourists come from all over every summer to enjoy the view and hear the legend. I tell them the story of the boy in the red hoodie. Some believe me, and some think it's just a tall tale, but I know the absolute truth. I met a ghost who needed help, and together we brought peace to a wandering soul. Now the beach is quiet again, and it feels safer than ever. And as for me, I'm happy. Truly, deeply happy, more than I ever thought possible. Phrase explanations. Don't stop the video now, my friends. Now comes the most important part of our lesson here at Slow English Stories. We are going to dive deep into the real meanings of the 5 phrases we encountered in the story. I will provide easy-to-understand examples for each one so you can start using them in your own English conversations today. 1. Clean as a whistle. This phrase means that something is very clean, neat, or pristine. It implies there isn't a speck of dirt to be found. In the story, Emily says, "The sand was absolutely pristine. It was clean as a whistle." Example, "I spent all morning scrubbing the kitchen, and now the floors are clean as a whistle." 2. Have at it. This is an informal way of saying, "Go ahead, start, or try it." It's an invitation to begin an activity or use something. In the story, Josh points to the cave and says, "Have at it." Example, "My brother saw my new puzzle on the table and asked if he could help. I said, 'Sure, have at it.'" 3. It's on my dime. This means I will pay for it, or it is at my expense. It comes from the old days when a phone call cost a dime. In the story, the officer tells Emily, "It's on my dime," meaning he will cover the costs. Example, "Since it's your birthday, dinner is on my dime. Order whatever you like." 4. Are you any good? This is a casual way to ask, "Are you skilled at this?" or "Do you have experience with this?" Before we started the game, my friend asked, "Are you any good at chess?" 5. You hit the nail on the head. This means that you have said or done something exactly right. You have identified the core of a problem or the perfect solution. In the story, Emily whispers, "Thank you, Josh. You hit the nail on the head." Example, when my friend guessed that I was sad because I missed my family, I told her, "You hit the nail on the head." Well done, my friends. You have now mastered 5 new English phrases and seen how they can be used in a real story. Don't just watch this video once. Repeat these phrases out loud and try to create your own sentences. That is the secret to growing your English skills super fast. If you want the full text of this expanded story, along with the phrases and their meanings, you can download a free PDF from the Telegram link in the description below. It is 100% free for all my students here at Slow English Stories. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. Tell me, which of these 5 phrases was your favorite? I will see you in the next story. Keep learning, keep practicing, and I'll see you soon.